What's up, guys? Welcome to Bro Beats. Today we're going to be doing complex melodies. All right, and make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help me out a lot. And if you have not seen the last video, make sure you go do so, because it's important for this video. So this is what we made in the last video, and let me actually take this off. All right, so this is what we made. All right, so now we're gonna start on the melody, and we're in the F minor. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, and I think I probably wanna move this over here for now. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go low to high. So we're gonna start down here, and we should end up somewhere up here. All right. All right, so these aren't regular melodies, they're complex melodies, so you need to take it step by step, especially if you haven't done this before. So first things first, we start with support notes. Support notes is just a term I made up just to help me learn how to do this stuff, right? So support note would be just a smooth transition into either this note that we already have or into the next chord. So it could look something like this, right? Or it could look something like this, going into this note, right? And even maybe something like this. All right, so that's where we're gonna start first. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of, let me zoom in so you can really see the notes I'm using. And we could just a little larger. All right, so here we go. That's the first step. Second step, we want our mids. All right, so stuff like this. Now this is where you're gonna get most of the melody out. All right, so from here, you probably, stuff like this works well if you do stuff like this and maybe go back. All right, stuff like that. You don't need to do too much. You don't need to come over here and do flams. Right, people like to do stuff like that. You don't need that, because we're gonna get that effect anyway. All right, so on note I want to end on, I always look on the second chord, and we can see this D sharp here, so we probably want to land on this. So we can use the support note method same way. Let's place this right first, and then from here we can just go down and kind of figure out what notes we want to use. So we can kind of just actually use these, and there you go, you have your notes. And then change the size so it's different, and then let's come back. All right, so let's listen to it. All right, so same thing over here. Let me make sure that's level. All right, so let me see, what do we want to use? Got our A. And then remember this note here, same thing. All right, so what we can do is offset it. And since we're offsetting this, let's make this note longer. All right, so here's one thing that may confuse people. You may be like, oh, let's just click there. You can do that, but I'm telling you, that's not gonna sound good, because a lot of time with melodies, your ear wants to return to the note that you started with, which was C. And you're probably like, oh, you didn't start with C. Yeah, you did, because if you see right here, this is the root note of this chord. So you're gonna hear C first before you hear A sharp. So we want to go back to this. So how we get back to this, we just look, and first thing you can do is just be like, oh wait, look, this chord already has the notes here. So we already have A, we don't want to use A, so we could either use this or this. This matches up, let's use this. And then we already have a D sharp here. We haven't used F, so I'm not going to be looking at that. Drag that over, and you have your notes. Simple as that. All right, and it sounds good. So you can see. All right. Okay, now the third part, we go up, and from here, you can just use the same notes as well. Probably like, let me see, we use A sharp a lot and C. So you can kind of stick to that. And then I'll probably use like a G sharp to return to, because it goes in order already and we use that note. So let's start up here. We could just put something there. And you can start here if you want, but I like starting up really high. So from here, let's just listen to where we want to put this. Let me zoom out. And then back here. So this is the first half. So now we're gonna, well, not take a break, but now we're gonna do the second part. Okay, so now we're in the second half, and what we're gonna do here is pretty much gonna be the same notes, but we're going to change a few and add a few. And when I say few, I really mean a few. So you don't want to change the melody, because most people do this. Something like this, right? And it would sound something like this. Which is fine, and you can do that, but just imagine you're trying to make a hook and the melody keeps changing every 2 seconds. It will get annoying and hard to come up with the nice hook, catchy hook, right? So you want to keep it as similar as possible. Now, if you want to do that for like a special part of the beat, go ahead, but for like the main melody, I would say keep it similar. So first I'm gonna do is copy this over. All right, I'm not gonna change anything there. Let's add support notes real quick. And we can just change up the notes, and this is where you'll get that variation. And change the velocity as you go as well, so it can be more like humanized. All right, so we got those. You can see how much easier it is now, because all we're doing is really just copying stuff over and just moving placement. Put that there. Okay, so this is what it would sound like. All right, so now we want notes that go into this right here. So it should look something like this. And we can use that A going into that G sharp, and we can probably start here. And since like the chords stop here, it'll be a cool effect to actually put the G right here. And we can copy that over. And then for some variation, let's use the D sharp, because we know that works. And here we go. Maybe this. All right, sounds pretty good to me. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to delete this so you can see everything at once. And I'll try to get every note in here for you. All right, here we go. All right, so that's how you make complex melodies. I wanted to make a beat in this, but the video is already too long, and this is kind of confusing stuff, especially if you've been making melodies like this for a long time. This is going to be confusing, so I want to make sure people only get this portion, and that is simple. Okay, so I don't want to confuse people with beats and basses and stuff. So I'll probably put a beat at the end so you can hear it. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. Hopefully this helps you out. I hope this series was helpful in helping you make some better melodies. And that's gonna be it for today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.